large. It's been 20 years of democracy, and people who voted for development have seen it, but some haven't. You may ask yourself, who, if there is anyone to blame? South Africa has 7 ports. With all of them, Durban is known to be the one that earns the country more income compared to the other ports. Now, you would think that is enough, but Transnet has yet proposed an expansion and, in addition, a new port just south of Durban. The response from the community has not been positive, as they are concerned.
As an environmentalist, I'm against the port because there is a mangrove forest there. As you all know, like a mangrove forest, it acts as a nursery for fishes and seabirds and birds, like the flamingos and other flamingos that with tall legs. Yes, so it's where they lay their eggs, and Durban Port is known to be the richest. So if we're losing that place, due to this expansion, we will lose some of the species of the seabirds. Like since in 1966, they expanded the port, so we lost 9 species of birds. Now and here, due to this one, we lose maybe a lot. So that's what concerned me, because the wetlands act like a sponge. They act like kidneys on a human being. They purify water. They hold waste, like the spillages. These sandbanks, the sand hold, for an example, the oil spills. When they are dig out, there will be that problem that the whole water will be contaminated. Pollution and the loss of biodiversity, like the species of fishes and birds. Yeah, that spot acts as a nursery, and it is a heritage site. No development is allowed there. Right now, only 20 hectares of this mangrove forest is left. It was 200 hectares, now it's 20. So now, I think the whole 20 is going out now. So we're facing the crisis, we're losing one of the important ecosystems.
Employment opportunities catch those the most desperate. And as we know, where unemployment is a major concern, especially in South Africa, looking at the amount of people, especially in South Durban, with the amount of rural people that don't have jobs, I feel that this is sort of a misconception, because we've had major developments before. One example, the Moses Mabhida Stadium, second, the King Shaka Airport. These are all major developments which were said to have promised lots of jobs. Unfortunately, the employment rate has only increased. Unemployment rate has increased further from those developments. We're looking at white elephants as such, where it has now actually is running at a loss instead of a gain to benefit the people. And this is not what we consider development. Development is where the people need to benefit. People need to get jobs. Another thing with it is that what type of jobs will be offered? Is it skilled? Is it semi-skilled? Are they going to train people? What type of work? If you're looking at construction phase, most amount of time that a construction company can have a contract is 2 to 3 years, depending on the project. Once the building is done, you don't need construction workers, and that's the bulk of employment. After that, how many people are actually employed in an office? It's not much. With everything automotive and technology more modern, you have one truck driver operating and that's it. Before we used to have manual labor, but now because of technology, we don't need that. Therefore, employment is going to be a big problem the shipping industry has. And we claim that it is not utilized to its full capacity. And I'm glad that you mentioned Richards Bay, which is Kuka. That is a deep water harbor, but unfortunately it is not utilized at all. So why go and create a completely new harbor when both harbors are not completely utilized to its full and complete capacity? So instead of extending this and expanding and upgrading and improving these harbors, is it really necessary to go and build a 250 billion rand new harbor where people are going to be displaced? We call it a legal term is constructive eviction. A port is a 24/7 activity zone. Noise is going to be chaotic. You're not going to want to stay in that area. Therefore, you're going to want to sell up and move. I've even had real estate agents coming to me and asking me, what is this port development? Because nobody wants to buy and sell in these areas anymore because they have, they don't want to take that risk. And this is what people need to understand, that this will affect. I might live in another area that's not directly affected, but if I am coming and going from freeways and working in these areas, I'm going to be sitting in 3-hour traffic. That means I must wake up 3-4 hours earlier than I normally do. No one's prepared to do that.
Nendawo enabalimi abazimele abakhiqiza khona ukudla kwabo. Mabekhiqiza ukudla kwabo lapha nakhomba ukuthi ukudla sikuthola kube cheap ukubona kunokuthi sikuthola kuma supermarket. Uma ngaba azothi government ayikho imhlaba azowakhela kuyona abantu izindlu. Sewuvele kumhlaba. Lo mhlaba ngabe manje awuthatha awunikeza abantu bakhe izindlu khona bathuthukisa amabhizinisi abamancane kuba umhlaba onikezwe la kubantu. Yabona? Into enza singanelisi kakhulu ngayo kakhulu. Ingoba akhona ama-port akhona esiwabonayo ekhona abantu abasebenza khona bahola ama-R50 ngosuku. Yabona kushuthi ngabanye amazwe abantu bazacendezelwe lento ikhomba ukuthi uma ngabe thina sithi siyakwamukela noma siyakuvuma ukuthi le port ayenzeke ngabanye bazithi ukucindezeleka kwabantu akube into eqhubekayo ayingapheli. 2 bese uthi lezi kampani ezinkulu okuyizona engathi ugovernment ubheka ukuthi ifana nikeze emhlaba ayikho into ezibuyisela emphakathini ngendlela efaneleyo. Yabona ngamanye amazwe ukhuluma thina siyahlupheka ngapha sicindezelwe ngala bona bakhululwe kucindezelwe abantu abampofu ngala bona abangala bakhululwe. Into eziningi efana no-air pollution izethu silwa nazo efana neingozi emgwaqeni ehlale silwa nazo izokhula ngamandla manje ngeke safana kahle sizokhula ngamandla ngoba lo mgwaqo ukhomba ukuthi mangabe kunjalo nama-truck awubegijimela khona. Yabona ama-drugs ayobengena iphuma ngendlela abathanda ngayo. Yabona so imiphakathi eseduze kwale ndawo ingakho into efana le ithi ayihambisani neze na ngoba kuyona into egulisayo futhi akuyona into esibona singathi thina singabenefita siphakathi kunokuthi sibenefit izolimaza more into esithi zama ukuthi size emphakathini. Indawo nje lana nikeza abantu besilise njengabantu basekhaleni yakhela lezi nizokuhlala kube indawo ezoba ngeyabantu nothi nazonikeza osomabhizinisi abakhulu.
We read through the documents and we found that in the document they left out the social enhancement plan. That was talking about why you shouldn't destroy the communities, why you should improve the communities. So we decided on a plan of action and we locked down the port in December, the 4th of December. We closed the port down for 3 hours. No trucks in, no trucks out. It forced Mulusi Gigaba to come and talk to us on the 14th of December. Again, he made a commitment that he will ensure that there's a bottom-up approach, that the communities will be consulted properly, that what people are fighting for, better housing, improvement jobs, proper jobs, improvement in their status, better schools, better factories, small factories that create jobs. He was going to look into it and he'll come back to us. He never came back. And the next thing we know in 2013 is that legislation has been gazetted by the Zuma government, where they can just, and in the legislation they talk about expropriation. They can take away the land for a national interest, the national economic interest. You can lose your whole community here and just be moved for the national interest without any consultation with us. We said, no, well, that's not acceptable. And when we look at all the documents, there's nothing in it that tells us it's going to benefit people. Most of the schools and most of the school children that commute into the community from Mlazi and Kwama and Folweni and Lamontville are going to be affected by the increased trucking. So they're talking about 20 million trucks and putting 2,000 trucks an hour at the Claywood Racecourse. All the green areas where you breathe, because we're in a pollution area, you need the green lungs to take away the CO2. Those areas will be affected because they'll bring in concrete and destroy all that green lung. The third thing is that the housing, people will be moved, whether we like it or not. There's no way you can be in between 2 ports and then they will move people in the middle, one section, don't move the other. They'll move you. How long it will take, no one knows. Where to, no one knows. So people's houses will lose. Our religious institutions, facilities that we have here for 150 years, churches, temples, mosques, and everything else will be destroyed. All that will be destroyed. Our children are safe on the roads now because we're on community roads. They're not on roads of trucks. Death by trucks will increase. Our small businesses that employs our mothers, the clothing industry, the shopping in Claywood, all the shops that create a lot of jobs. Claywood has got more people employed. Grey Street, Warwick Avenue has got more people employed because people are doing things themselves, right? that will be destroyed. So the jobs that they talk about is very short-term, casual. It's about the import model of importing from China, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and Europe. So import model does not necessarily lead to creating jobs. We are saying we want to be proudly South Africans, so all our goods must be manufactured here, and we buy it here, because you're creating jobs for our people. So the last bit of jobs that we do have will be destroyed. And that will lead to more poverty and lead to more crime. We've got 2 big refineries, 2 big paper mills, and we have 300 chemical industries in South Durban, which don't create jobs. Many of us are products of forced removals from Ketamana in Kumba. And we came here and were pushed here by the apartheid government. We will not accept displacement once again from a democratic government that we elected. We'll fight them all the way. We'll fight them on the land, we'll fight them in the sea, we'll fight them in the air, we'll fight them in the courts.
There you have it. Development is good, as long as it develops the people who need it most. Join us again for another edition of The Watch. Until next time, cheers.